Welcome to the G.N.A podcast, Games, Nerds, and Alcohol, where we start drinking at 4 instead of 3, but forget that we have all high ABV alcohol in the fridge. And yeah, it just kind of cancels each other out, and we're even more drunk than when we were last time, which is awesome. I don't know who's on the show with me, to be perfectly honest. I know Craig and Garrick are here with me.
So is Damok, Article, and me.
Woohoo! Who's that? Who's that talking? That sounds sexy. Who is that?
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole's a man of very few words. Most of those words are Bob Dole. You heard him. You heard D there. How you feeling, D?
Not too shabby, out a few bucks, because I had to buy a new fridge, but other than that, I'm all good.
Oh, did you get one of those kick-ass Samsung fridges with, like, the computer on the front that you can surf Pornhub with?
Fuck no, that's too much money. Bad enough I forked out, like, $1,300.
What the hell did you get for $1,300?
LG. It's a nice LG. It's got a, the French open doors, and then at the bottom it's got the big pull-out drawer for the freezer.
Like, does it have a water thing in it, at least?
It's got a nice thing. Yeah, water thing is like an extra $800. If you want the whole fancy front panel, you're spending like $4,000 to $5,000. Shit's gotten expensive around here.
Damn.
Like, I was semi-hard when you said new fridge, and then you started describing all that, and I've gone completely limp.
That's because I'm a stingy bastard. I ain't spending no $4,000 on a fucking fridge. Although, having Pornhub would be kind of amusing, except I got small kids, and I think the wife would kill me.
Dude, but could you imagine you wake up middle of the night, you gotta go grab some water or something out of the fridge, you walk up, you start tapping on the fridge, there's Pornhub, so you rub one out.
The best part of waking up are just droplets in your cup.
Oh, that's wrong. That's so wrong. Oh, man. And we got Damok joining us. How you feeling, Damok?
I'm alive still. Yay, it's Friday.
That it is. That it is. And we got Article joining us tonight. How you feeling, Article?
I'm alright. How are you guys doing?
I think I've already accommodated that question with drunk.
Nice.
Well, first segment of the show, what is everybody drinking? For the love of God, D, what are you drinking, man?
I'm actually partaking in some Dogfish Head Namaste white Belgian-style wit beer. So this is pretty cool. It's got, it's of course a Belgian-style wit beer, but it's brewed with orange, flesh and peel, fresh-cut lemongrass, a bit of coriander, peppercorns. Yeah, so it's actually pretty tasty. It's got only 4.8% alcohol by volume, but it's a tasty, just relaxing beer, man. That
is very, very complicated. Like what you just had going on there. That was a lot of complication there.
Yeah. Eat good beer.
What are you partaking in, Article, if you're partaking in anything?
Just a little stuff. I think I had it last time, too, called Platinum Valley. Pretty good strain. Nice little sativa. So, yeah. I'm also playing a game of Apex Legends, which I'm almost done with, but not quite finished.
Nice. Where are you, Damok? What are you drinking, man?
I'm double fisting as usual with Devil's Backbone 16 point and this, is it Elysian Space Dust? It's pretty damn good. I don't know what it tastes like.
Yeah, Space Dust is fantastic, man. That's a hell of an IPA. That's very hoppy.
Yes, very hoppy, very good, and it mixes very well when you drink from 16 to Elysian.
Nice. Oh, that sounds like Article just lost something in Apex.
Yeah, we're down to the final 2 teams, and I just died.
Was it a horrible death?
Well, no, because I figured out where this guy has been hiding the whole time, but man, teammate is a fucking idiot, so he's gonna die. Wow, that was so bad. Okay. Yeah, he's dead now.
Well, I myself, on what I'm drinking, I have moved on to, I was drinking a something stout. It was like 10% by volume. And now I've moved on to a Hardywood gingerbread stout, and to be perfectly honest, I cannot taste anything in this right now, because I pounded that first beer, and it was not like a standard 12-ounce, it was like a 32-ounce stout. And 32 ounces at 10 ABV it hits you pretty quick when you pound it. So I'm warm. I'm very warm. I normally would have like some, hey, this is this beer's attack, and it's doing this on the... No, I got nothing. I'm drunk. It's good, though. State of Games. State of Games is where we talk about what we've been playing for the past week, or we just pontificate about what the hell we feel games are today. We are here at Article, but let's see if there's anything else you've been playing. You play anything else but Apex?
Yes. I played State of Decay 2 with you, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And that was pretty fun.
I gotta jump back into that. Yeah, that's a really, really fun zombie post-apocalyptic game.
Yeah, it reminds me a bit of, was it 7 Days to Die? I don't know if you ever played that. But...
Never have we stood up a server here and tried to take down an entire skyscraper while somebody's farming, ever.
That one's
we
pretty
do not
good game.
talk about 7 Days to Die anymore. It was ruined.
I can't believe... if I load up that friggin' server right now, that skyscraper is probably still falling.
That's some fucking hefty lag right there.
So quick story on this, since I'm rambling on about it. So I started up a 7 Days to Die server, and we found a bunker in like this little town, like this military style bunker. So we took it over, not realizing that when we took it over, zombies would spawn underneath us. So we first took it over, and zombies are spawning underneath us, and we're like, what the hell is this? Then we finally blockade off the whole bottom floors, which pretty much defeated the purpose of having a military base or a military bunker as your friggin' home base. And then we found this skyscraper that was just not too far in the distance, and I know I died several times trying to get to the top of it, but after we got to the top of it, I remember, hey, how are we going to get down? There's a whole bunch of zombies below us. And I can't remember if it was Shadow or Damok or me. Just jumped off the edge and said, I'll collect all my gear later. And that was pretty much it. The express elevator down.
I don't know. This was like a month into playing, and it was not me. It was Buffalo who just said, I'll get my shit later, and jumped off. I was not there. Yeah, I was too busy building a massive underground base.
Which was funny because every time Shadow would farm up top, all of a sudden you'd hear Damok, why is everything going slow? Is Shadow farming again? And you just hear Shadow, no. But yeah, then we got actually, I think I started that. I started tunneling underneath the skyscraper, mostly because I was just pissed that it was there and I wanted it to come down. So I started tunneling, and then people started tunneling with. We actually tunneled out completely under this skyscraper, and then stood back as we watched it like decay brick or square by square. And then it just stopped. We're looking around going, what the hell's wrong? And the whole server just crawled, like lag central. And then you'd see some more of the buildings fall. And then it would crawl again. And we're like, uh-oh. Fun stuff. But yeah, how are you liking State of Decay there, Article?
It's all right. I think the one thing I think that game is slightly missing is like just that layer of ambiance that can make games like that kind of scary. Because I didn't really feel like the zombies were that much of a threat, if I'm being honest.
Oh yeah, they're totally not. Until you get to the bigger ones, like the ferals. The ferals are terrifying.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like it seemed like most of it was pretty much a breeze, but it was the very start of the game, so I probably can't complain too much.
Yeah, wait until you get a Juggernaut and the permanent death thing. I'm on the fence about whether I like or hate, but I really think I've come to like it because it gives you a sense of, not urgency, but angst when you go out and you bring somebody with you. And because the AI isn't exactly fantastic in that game, so you get up against something big, and they're just going to run out and start shooting it, or if they only got a melee weapon, they're just going to go out and start carving this thing up. And like a Juggernaut is just going to wreck your face. There's nothing about that that's good.
Yeah.
So it's totally entertaining. If we can get a group of like 3 or 4 of us going on that, it makes the game so much easier.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like a larger party would probably have a pretty, not make the game different per se, but it would add like just another layer.
What about you, Damok? What's your state of games there, man?
When I'm not screaming at my monitor over Borderlands 3 being an epic faggot exclusive, I'm screaming at my monitor when I'm playing Borderlands 1 Enhanced Edition because, damn it, I'm only level 7 and all my quests are level 10 and I can't kill the damn guys to get there.
Dude, didn't they, like, I really feel that the Enhanced Edition they knocked out of the park. Like, they took Borderlands 2, the engine from it, and they made Borderlands 1 in it. And just so many quality of life improvements.
Oh, quality of life all over it, graphic improvement, and it's stable. I don't have to go in and look up all the tweaks to make it run right, make it run smooth. It's fantastic. I'm really enjoying the Enhanced Edition. I need to try the Borderlands 2 high-res packs that came out for Steam as well soon.
I got to check those out, yeah, especially since I'm running a 4K monitor, so I might actually benefit for once.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for it. It's been a lot of fun to play, and I forgot how much I missed the original Borderlands. That game was so damn fun.
Well, dude, so I love the original Borderlands, but it is, like, okay, no offense to these guys, but the original Borderlands is hard to go back to. The Enhanced Edition makes it easier to go back to. Much easier.
It doesn't make it easier. It was like playing a whole new game. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I can agree there. I told you, though, I'm like sitting there in chat going, dude, you guys got to play this. This is amazing. And I'm getting like the, okay, yeah, whatever. And then all of a sudden you play it like, this is a completely different game.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. Every game that comes out to be fair. But every game that comes out that has an Enhanced Edition is normally pretty shit. I love Valve, and I love Half-Life, but Half-Life Source was shit. Now,
it was pretty shit.
Yeah, the Black Mesa mod that's done by the fans is phenomenal, redone on the Source engine properly. But so many games with the Enhanced Edition are normally garbage. So you said Borderlands 1. I already knew it's a sketchy game. It's going to take me forever to tweak it so that I can get it to run smoothly. I'm like, damn, I love the story, but fuck, this is going to suck. Nope. I installed it. I launched it. I picked my resolution. I picked the Mac frame rates and turned off VSync. Fucking great.
Yeah, it really is amazing. Like, they knocked it out of the park with it. I'm so excited. I'm actually on my second playthrough now with my Siren because of it. Because I finished it with my Siren, and I was like, man, all right, I'm done. I'm not going to play again. And then the Enhanced Edition came out, and I'm like, I actually want to go through on my second playthrough now. I want to play this game. It's awesome. It's great nostalgia, too. Borderlands 1 has so many memories.
Borderlands 1, I think, has some of the better guns out of the two, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Sad. I had a shotgun in that game that was an assault rifle, and dear God, it just destroys everything.
I gotta find that.
If you don't kill it in one shot, it's not a Jackov.
Oh man, God, such a good game. Such a good game. What about anything else? You've been playing anything else, or just pretty much cramming down that?
I've been pretty much screaming at my monitor over Borderlands 3 for a while, and then, yeah, I've just been playing Borderlands 2 now.
What about you, D? What's your state of games there, man?
Well, I actually went old school. I went classic. I picked up Tales of Destiny 2, which is a rare title and getting expensive for the PlayStation, and that's one of the earliest of the Tales series. Well, one of the earlier, not earliest, but one of the earlier ones that we got in the United States, so that was great to start replaying that a little bit. I also picked up a game called Vast Steel. It's a working design title for the TurboGrafx 16 CD-ROM add-on. And it's almost like a Command and Conquer-ish type game, except with mechs. And when you battle, like say you land, you move your character onto the square that's occupied by like an enemy. It's actually like a top-down, and you can steer around and try to dodge and hit them, and you could actually wind up destroying theirs. Or they can destroy you, even if something's outmatched, depending how well you play. So it's pretty neat. It's a neat take on the strategy game. So it's a pretty unique title, and I've also been kind of replaying Final Fantasy IV, aka Final Fantasy II, here in the United States. But been replaying that, just kind of on a nostalgia kick this week.
Oh, I gotta ask, what the hell made you bring back Final Fantasy IV? Like, when anybody thinks Final Fantasy nostalgia, I honestly can't think of anybody who goes to 4 other than me.
Well, I've played a lot of 6, and it's one of my absolute favorites. But 4 is kind of cool because it's still that more fantasy, but almost the older graphics. Because I started off on the very first one on the Nintendo, and I still replay that from time to time. And I just had an urge, man. can't really explain it. I just was like, I feel like playing this.
Hey, I'm not knocking you. Final Fantasy IV is my favorite, so there's that.
But I still like it just because 6 is like, my favorite. 4 is a close right behind it. I've always loved 4 as well.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. He definitely has.
I love 6, and I love 6 because, like, 4 compared to 6 has got so much more of a length of game and so much more of a variety in the game. But 4 just because it was the first Final Fantasy that I really, really dug into. So that's why it's got that special place in the heart for me. But yeah, dude, totally. I mean, awesome. I'm glad. I'm stoked.
I've been enjoying it. Really, I can sit down and play any of the Final Fantasies pretty happily, except for, like,
Mystic Quest.
12. Even Mystic Quest, it's easy, but it's kind of like it's like it got a good story. It's got some good things going for it. I mean, it's got a good storyline. It's too easy and all that stuff, but it's got a good storyline. It's fun to play just if you're just sitting there drunk.
Yeah. I've played through Mystic Quest, and I can vouch for that.
But the one I really don't... I mean, 12, it's just more the battle system that irked me a little bit on 12 on the PS2. And I didn't really like 13 and 13.2 that much.
Yeah, see, now you're getting into territory where I was frustrated because everybody was trying to shift to that MMO style of gameplay at the time. And Final Fantasy 12, coming from Final Fantasy 11, mind you, Final Fantasy 12 really just kind of thrusted into that MMO style of gameplay. But it wasn't an MMO, so it kind of felt cheap, I guess.
I almost thought it felt jarring, because it was like, it's like, okay, Final Fantasy trying new battle systems, that's cool, that's cool, they've done it before, but they didn't do it well in 12. I just found it kind of jarring and obnoxious, really.
Yeah, I think they mastered it in 15.
15 is fantastic. I love 15. 15, they got it right. They fixed it. I just didn't particularly care for it in 12.
Yeah, 12 was kind of like, hey, we're going to try this out, and it didn't quite work out, in my opinion.
Yeah.
13 was like, well, we're going to try to go back to the turn-based thing, but
not all the way.
Kinda, and then it's like, no, that didn't work. And then 15, of course, because 14 was an MMO again, but 15... Yeah, I agree. 15 really nailed it. I gotta go. You know what? I gotta go back to 15 because I gave it kind of a bad draw there because I was expecting, since it came right after Final Fantasy 14, I was expecting that same Final Fantasy 12 treatment. So I didn't play it at all, and then I played it on one of the 24-hour streams. And I only allotted about an hour and a half to it. And I realized how bad of a decision that was.
Yeah.
At the hour and a half mark, and I'm like, I want to continue playing this. I don't want to play anything else right now. I want to play this for the next 24 hours.
Yeah, but I mean, just for understanding out there, it's like, I don't knock Square for trying something different. In fact, I appreciate them not to let something get too stale, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
It just didn't work for me. But I mean, some people really like 12, but,
Yeah, and 12, you know what? At some point in time, I'm going to go back and play 12 simply to get the story out of it.
Story's pretty good. Yeah.
I've always loved... See, Final Fantasy's stories, and that's why I like Final Fantasy IV so much, is because, I mean, graphics-wise, the game is horrendous compared to now. But the story in it, just how they were able to pack so much story. And then when they got to Final Fantasy VI, like... just how they were able to pack so much story to give so much life to characters, to friggin' 16-bit sprites on the screen. I mean,
I honestly think with the RPGs, I think Final Fantasy VI might have been the epitome of it. You're right there, you know.
Yes, so like I give Final Fantasy VI like major props, but man, there were so many good RPGs around that time.
Oh my god! I mean. Even other good RPGs from Square. I mean, PlayStation.
Let's just hands down say it. The game came out long before Final Fantasy VI, but Chrono Trigger is still a pinnacle of RPG for the classic retro gaming.
Oh yeah, I meant it was Final Fantasy VI was more of a pinnacle for the Final Fantasy series specifically. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, but I mean, as far as RPGs, hands down, Chrono Trigger is one of my absolute favorites. I love that game.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many good RPGs that came out. Chrono Trigger, Legend of Legaia, Legends of Evermore, or
Secret of Evermore, Secret of Mana. Legend of Legaia was on the PlayStation 1, and that was a neat one with a really neat battle system where you unlock combos.
What was that one that was for the Super Nintendo? Legend of Gaia.
Illusion of Gaia.
Illusion of Gaia.
Illusion of Gaia. Thank you.
Which was actually part of a trilogy.
What?
Yes.
I'm only just now hearing of this?
Okay, the I have 2 of the 3. Illusion of Gaia, of course, but I think it was the first one was Soul Blazer, which I also have.
Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, and Terra Nigma.
Terra Nigma. And the last one, Terra Nigma, although it was heralded as being the best of the 3, was never released in the United States.
Motherfuckers.
It was released in Japan, it was released in Europe for PAL version. We got fucked out of an awesome game.
Well, fuck, if it's released in PAL version, we can get a hold of that
Yeah,
shit.
I was just going to say, we can definitely get that.
Well, I've got a...
I need to play those games.
It'll only work on a traditional Super Nintendo, but I've got a copy of the converted over, like the translated, or the Terra Nigma that they got put on a repro cart, so I've got one of those.
Cool.
Just so I can play it. I just want to play it.
Yeah, so Illusion of Gaia is the middle game.
Okay, yeah, it was the middle. Was Terra Nigma the last one?
Yeah. So
yeah, Soul Blazer was the first, yeah.
So you're telling me that we've been playing a sequel this whole time and thinking it was like the best thing ever?
Yes.
Man, are we fucking dumb.
That game was fun.
Yeah,
That
I
game
love
was
it.
truly fun.
Yeah.
I still have it complete and boxed.
I really miss those types of games where, like, I think, well, it's still true that music plays a large part in games, but there was just something more to it then, where it's like, you still had to rely a lot on imagination because, you know, the sprites were not nearly detailed enough.
Bro, are you telling me you want me to send you a Super Nintendo and some games? Because I can do that.
I'm telling you I will not return to sender.
That may be going in a box soon, along with the Raspberry Pi I keep saying, which is still sitting on my desk because I'm a lazy sack of garbage.
Yeah, I would actually like that Raspberry Pi now because I've been getting into programming and I'm kind of digging it. Have you guys ever played? Have you ever played the Golden Sun games?
Yes, I have quite a few of them here.
Fuck, they sound so familiar.
Those are so fucking legit. They're like, they were made for like the Game Boy. I can't remember.
Advance.
Yeah, like Advance or SP or whatever the fuck. But yeah, they're super fun, man. Like they're like a combination of like almost Pokemon in a sense and Final Fantasy. Like it's a lot of magic, a lot of like items and everything that you need. You also get like weapons and such. But then you also get like find these weird little creatures that give you like that grant you like special abilities and shit. I don't know, it's weird, but it's fucking cool. Really, really
and of course,
cool games.
And of course, the Fire Emblem series has been a fantastic staple as well.
That's a bit different though. That's more turn-based strategy.
Turn-based strategy, yeah.
Dude, yeah, but you know, like when I think of RPGs, like when I think of old school RPGs, I think of Dragon Warrior all day long.
Yeah.
Like the original Dragon Warrior, having to go into that dark freaking tunnel to save the princess from that damn dragon, create the rainbow bridge out of the raindrop, and
I have all 4 of them here.
Yeah, but that original one is always going to hold like a huge place in my heart because that.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the original boxed and everything else. I've got the only one I don't have boxed is number 2. I don't have boxed.
But even playing that, like that game was fun, but going back and trying to play that now is just fucking frustrating.
I got my daughter playing it.
Dude, there's that one mission where you have to like find the flute or whatever.
The flute of Edric or something.
Yeah.
Fuck
and
that.
You gotta search.
Fuck that mission. I died every time trying to find that stupid fucking musical instrument. And then remember that fucking metal slime?
The one that wrecks your face?
Like the super rare metal slime. Nothing fucking works on it. Either you miss it or you
then it runs away.
Point of damage. And it doesn't matter how beefed up your characters are. Like nothing. I killed that thing once because I managed to, I think, put it to sleep or something.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It wasn't even worth the experience because it only has like fucking 20 health. You just have to be able to hit it enough time before it runs away, really, or wrecks your face. Oh man, I just want.
The worst thing that happened to me on the original Dragon Warrior is I was all beefed up, but decided just to go back wandered near the beginning of the game. I was goofing off, and the game glitched.
Yeah.
You remember that one? I was so pissed because I hadn't saved in hours, and like my character's like level 60 something or 70 something,
oh man!
And the game glitched. And yeah, Article remembers this one. I was so pissed. A regular old beginning of the game, the first castle you're in, green slime killed my entire party. Or not my entire party, my guy, because the first one had only one guy. Yeah. Killed my guy. A green slime. 2 hit points.
One of the weakest characters in the game. It just wouldn't
killed
die.
like a level 70 character.
It's like you hit it so hard
that the game glitched.
Well, that it's like its health went negative and then just kept going negative, and it wouldn't die.
It was like Gandhi, it went so passive it was aggressive.
But I couldn't run away either, so I started keep hitting it, and then the thing started hitting me with high damage. I'm like, but it's a regular green slime. How is this possible? I'm like the king of weird glitches, because I always get fucked by them.
It mutated, and now it was an awesome slime. It was Slime Thing.
Well, slime fucked my character. You know what? I actually found another cool Super Nintendo. It's like an action RPG that I would never have thought by the name. I just never thought to play, but now that I have, it's actually pretty good. I'm starting to get into it. It's called Brainlord.
Okay.
Look it up. It's actually a bit of fun.
Brainlord?
Stupid. It has a stupid name. Box art that goes, what the fuck is this? But it's actually wicked good.
That was like when I found this game called the Superhero League of Hoboken. I was like, this game, like, there's nothing about this game, and even the box, it was like this weird, like, sky blue, baby blue color, and it was some really bad hand-drawn, like, cartoonish superheroes on the front. Nothing about it said that this game was fun, and the game ended up being so much friggin' fun.
I once got a game for the regular Nintendo that I thought looked kind of cool called Deathbots.
Deathbots! It was awful. It was awful. And it was like a knockoff NES cartridge.
A game is basically, it's the ET equivalent of whatever the fuck it is. It's awful. Like, you can't tell what the fuck to do. There's seemingly no point, no rhyme or reason to anything. Trying to shoot other enemies is impossible. And even when you do, like, hit them or whatever, like, there's no, like, some enemies just, they, like, I don't even know, they just don't die. Like, it's fucking weird.
It's Deathbots.
The game is so fucking stupid.
But anyways, with Brainlord, it's almost like an Illusion of Gaia-ish type, like, feel to it. And it's actually by Enix, same group that made Dragon Warrior.
Yeah, I remember.
Yep. So, I would say check it out if you have a chance.
I'll think about it.
I have to now.
Yeah, I'm not going to forget the name anytime soon, that's for sure.
But
Brainlord.
Good game, weird name, great game, great company. The back, of course, shows it. I'm like, oh, this looks good. But the front of it, I was like, what the fuck is this?
See,
Like, I came across the game in the past so many fucking times that, obviously not, I got it complete now. But I just always thought, I was like, I wonder what the fuck Brainlord is. And I've never picked it up in the past because I was always like, what the fuck is this?
yeah, it doesn't look too appealing.
No, the cover
Boring.
looks, the cover art looks pretty boring. It looks like the cover to the movie Krull.
Well, I thought
look at Game Capture.
I thought floating Dracula when I saw that.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
Right.
well, I was thinking Krull because of that teleporting castle thing. Well, that was in Castlevania too.
Yeah, I don't know the Krull as well as I know Castlevania.
Touche.
So that's why I made that connection probably.
Alright, so point of inquiry here. I had an original NES growing up. I had about 6 games, and I did not have another game console until I fucked up and got a Sega Saturn for my birthday.
That is not a fuck up. You take that back.
Yeah,
Well-
I don't think that counts as a fuck up.
I loved it. I had no problems with it, but all the cool games that everybody was playing on PlayStation, I did not have on my Saturn.
That didn't upset me in the least.
However, there are some good ones, which I do have.
There are so many good games for the Saturn. It's
And
ridiculous.
the games I have now on the Saturn, like the RPGs, are worth like $400 a pop.
Silver and all that crap.
Fantasy stuff.
Well, Lunar, Silver Star Story, and Lunar Blue is on the actual CD, Sega CD. But I'm talking about Magic Knight, Ray Earth, Albert Odyssey, Shining the Holy Ark.
Have you ever played Silver?
Lunar, Silver Star Story?
Hank,
Or is the game called Silver?
no, the
I'm
game
sorry.
the game itself is called Silver. You should check it out.
I have not. I will have to check that one out.
I was so poor, I had Panzer Dragoon and Resident Evil. And
Why? Panzer Dragoon, it's a good game. I wish I had
Code
Panzer
Veronica?
Dragoon Saga.
Oh my god, Code Veronica. Fuck that game. Fuck those stupid, I don't even know what they were, the frog zombie mutations. They're
Dude, that
fucking
game was
long-ass arms.
fantastic, man. That thing was so much fun.
Oh yeah, no, I played it. It was actually one of the few Resident Evils I did actually play, like all
Alright.
the way through.
Let's circle back to the question part of this one. So, as somebody who has missed out on so many of these fantastic JRPGs that you guys have been playing, I know a lot of them have come to PC over the years. Is there a decent list of them that you would recommend on PC? Because the reviews are hit or miss across the board. Some of the Final Fantasies aren't good. Chrono Trigger has missing cutscenes on the PC version and people get pissed off. Which ones would you recommend?
You just open up a can of fucking worms.
Well, you were already talking
Well,
about it, and I missed it.
Are you asking not just from the point of view of JRPG games? Like, are there just
Anything.
games in general that you would like to be kind of filled in on?
Any of the games from, like, past the original Nintendo up to the Sega Saturn, all of that wonderful stuff in between.
I could compile you a list of Sega Saturn games that would probably keep you busy for a while. There are some great fucking games.
So I can give you games that are ported over to PC or games that you can find ROMs for and that you can play on PC with a keyboard. Or if you plug in a controller, you can play it with a controller. I mean, they were designed for a controller anyways. But there are so many great games. Like, okay, a great, for instance, is Chrono Trigger. They've done several re-releases of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say the PlayStation 1 minus the load times, which you put it on PC that actually eliminates all that, minus the load times, that is probably the definitive version. Minus the DS version. Maybe the DS version is a little bit better. But that dual screen crap that they did for Chrono Trigger was a pain in the ass. Final Fantasy VI, though, the GBA version, probably hands down, is the most definitive version that you will find for that game. Any port that they've done, I have not seen them top that I mean, really, fuck, man. There are so many games to play when it comes to those old JRPGs.
Chrono Trigger was re-released on the dual screen.
Yeah, the DS.
So if I would recommend that because that's going to be like probably the most legit port you'll ever find.
Well,
right?
It was good, but it was missing a couple of things, and the PS version, I believe the PS version had, but the DS version
I played
was
both.
the most playable.
So the first time I ever played Chrono Trigger was actually on the DS while I was like out to sea, and that struck me. It was so good that then, like, when I finally got back home, at some point I found like a Super Nintendo and I actually played the legit version. I didn't really notice any distinct differences.
No, so the DS has got the anime cutscenes, but the PlayStation version has that as well.
Right.
I believe the DS version also has some extra dungeons in it that the original did not have.
Sorry, I'm just getting back. Are you talking about the DS Chrono Trigger?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's actually considered by many to be the definitive Chrono Trigger. It's got like everything, and they did a really good job with it. So that's considered by most to be like the definitive edition.
Since it's like, that's what I'm saying. Since it's like legitimately Nintendo, like I would trust that version probably the most. But
Yeah. Okay. I take back my PlayStation comment. Go with the DS version.
Well, still, PlayStation probably did a fine job with it too. Either one of those are good. I would just be wary of like PC ports and stuff like that because those could probably be faulty.
So the PC port, especially the one on Steam, while they've taken some time to try to fix it, it has had some major issues to the point that I was watching people stream it, and I was noticing shit that they weren't even noticing. Like it was to the point that I was almost crying that they were massacring this game. Pixels, like there were spots where pixels were like whole segments, whole pieces of the background were shifted down 5 or 10 pixels where they shouldn't be. I think it was in the court scene, and that's where I finally turned it all off. I was like, nope, can't watch this. The very beginning of the game where Chrono ends up going to court for, knocking into the princess or whatever.
Oh, right.
if you look in the background, there's a whole bunch of people that are in the background, and one of their faces is literally on their chest.
But it was actually for kidnapping the princess.
Kidnapping the princess.
Sorry. It's just such a game so close to my heart.
No, it was just it was like it was painful to watch, and I just went, I don't care if I don't care what happens to the rest of this game. I am literally crying watching how badly they messed up. There were parts where literally Chrono's head, his spiky hair, like spikes of his hair were down at his forehead. I was like, what? How did this possibly pass Q&A? Their port of it had to be some, like, this 40-year-old virgin sitting in a basement going, well, Steam's paying me, so I better get this done.
They just .playstation.exe with everything, or whatever it was, PC.
Probably, yeah. It was horrendous. No, but Damok, man, there are so many games. Like, honestly, if you haven't played it, Final Fantasy VI, go back and play it. It's probably the most reliable.
Yeah, it's really good. I was just about to say that comment on one of my weirdly favorite scenes out of like that gaming era is of all games, Final Fantasy VI.
The opera scene?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's awesome. I loved it.
It's so I thought I was the only one that felt that way. That is like such a good fucking section of the game, even though it's so bizarre. Like,
it was actually noted in a lot of like review magazines that a lot of people thought that was like the epitome. They did an awesome job. They were creative. A lot of people actually enjoyed that.
Really? That's cool.
It stepped out of the box, especially
really
for
did.
gaming at the time. It stepped completely out of the box, and you're like, what the hell am I watching? And as you're doing it, like, you're doing it for a reason. And there's a reason in game, and you're like, okay, well, yeah, I'm doing this for a reason. And then you start watching it unfold, and you're like, this is actually good.
Yeah.
And even though they didn't
really
have
good.
like the audio to work with, they did such a good job with what audio they could get out that you could get the feeling. It was really creative.
Yeah, it was very, very good.
Both artistically and technologically to get around all the limitations.
See, that's why I like 6 more than, or 3 more than 2 or whatever.
You know what one of my favorite parts of 6 actually was? The haunted mansion with the classical music playing in the background.
Oh yeah, that was.
And then you had to fight the demon in the painting. Yeah, for some reason I just liked the creepy. When it was haunted before you released killed the demon and released it. It was just really cool ambiance. I liked it.
Yeah, the thing about 4 though that I think strikes a chord with me is that heroic sacrifice always seems to like really get to me, just on a weird level. And in Final Fantasy IV, there was so much heroic sacrifice in the.
Yeah, I kind of agree, but that's where it was like Final Fantasy III evoked emotions in me that like I was not aware existed. Like that opera scene is prime example of that, where it was just like in any other circumstance, I would have probably been like, this seems stupid, but it just is woven so well into the story and everything else, and just very, very impactful.
So if I'm going to pick up Final Fantasy VI, do I need to go buy a Game Boy Advance and the game and play it? Or is the PC port decent enough for me to play it on that?
Alright, goddammit, fuck the PC port. Fuck the PC ports.
Okay, so for Final Fantasy VI, the PC port is not that bad. One great thing that you can do with the PC port that you can't do with the GBA version unless you find a hacked ROM is you can actually take the orchestral music from the CDs that they made of Final Fantasy VI, and you can actually merge that into the game where you have the actual orchestral CD quality music in the game. And while it takes a little bit away from that retro kind of like feel from it, having that extra quality of music in there enhances it in a completely different way. Now, you don't have to do that. That's actually a lot of work to do just to play the game. You can play the game as is, and the music is fantastic as is. I'm forgetting his name. I'm literally, it begins with an N.
Something Umatsu?
Him.
Why am I so retarded right now? I'm like forgetting.
Him.
I have trouble with names.
Look, if you're listening right now, we're all drunk. Don't judge us, but you know who we're talking about. The guy's an amazing composer, and to be perfectly honest, like, this guy, like the way he just sees music and is able to translate it with the limitations that he had in that era, just blows my friggin' mind. Like, I pick up a guitar and I start jamming out on a tune, and I feel good that I'm jamming out on a tune. I still go back and listen to some of these songs that they managed to play on these old 16-bit systems and an 8-bit system, and I'm just blown away.
I'm probably going to butcher, but wasn't it Nobuo Uematsu?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds right. I'm drunk. I'm going to fucking correct you.
So, don't play the PC version. Go buy a Game Boy Advance and Final Fantasy 7 or 6.
If you can, yes. If you can't, the PC port is palatable. It's not like Chrono Trigger where they royally screwed that up.
I think we're missing a big thing here. There's got to be some retro stores around you guys.
Oh yeah, probably.
There's tons of retro stores, but a Game Boy Advance right now is over $100. Probably picking up Final Fantasy 6 is going to be over $100.
What?
The retro stores around here are overpriced fucking garbage because...
All right. I can get you a Final Fantasy 6 cartridge for like $35, real cartridge. I can get you a Super Nintendo for like $60 right now.
Dude, you should just get a Switch.
Actually, ironically, I can get you both of those because I have them sitting upstairs in a box.
Well, I mean, that's to pay for. As far as having, I do have extras of a lot of, not the Final Fantasy, but I do have extras of a lot of stuff here.
Dude, you can literally, all the titles we're talking about, I think you can just play on the Switch.
But, no, the Switch is starting to go back and add some old NES games, and they've added Final Fantasy VII for $15 to that you can play on the Switch. But you can play the old ones, unlike the Wii and Wii U.
You can play
quite an extensive amount.
Okay, but you can play, and this is worth like any amount of money to me. You can play River City Ransom.
Oh yeah,
and good God, I love that game.
But I would honestly suggest. I mean, if you want me to, Damok, I could pick up the stuff. You get yourself that yellow, white, red cable. You get one of those to HD converters, and bam, there you go.
Okay, so
one of those.
I'm looking at Steam right now, and the version that's on Steam actually looks comparable to the Game Boy Advance version because it's got the new sprites, it's got the updated artwork. I can't hear the sound, of course, but it looks comparable to the Game Boy Advance version.
Yeah, a Game Boy SP here is about $40 for good shape one.
Yeah, so they've hipsterfied and retroed everything around here. So the good retro store went stupid with their prices. They used to sell an NES for like $50 and like a little overpriced, but...
Damok, you need to come up here and visit me, and I'll bring you to the game stores around here that have some excellent prices.
Yeah, I need to make my way up there sometime.
Besides, it's right. I'm about an hour away from Boston. Get your butt up here. I'll tell you, you get all the classics that you missed. Bam.
And they're not far away from my stomping ground, so I could go up and chill out too.
Exactly. And I have a spare copy of Final Fantasy VII if you pick up a PlayStation for $20.
Now,
Look at that.
I've seen people play most of the games that you guys have talked about, but since I never owned a system, I would sit on the couch and watch people play some of it, but never really get involved, and everybody seemed to enjoy it, but yeah.
But now's your time. Your time is here.
Yeah, that's true. I have the money to pick up some things now and try it out, and I've always wanted to try the old RPGs that you guys always talk about, so...
Well,
okay,
because I've made an extensive collection. You come up here, I let you test a bunch out, you see what you like, and we go get them.
All right, I just made a complete and utter faux pas here. So I'm looking at the actual captures from the GBA. The Steam version is nothing like the GBA version. The GBA version is so much better. Like, hands down, so much better. Yes, go get a GBA and play it on that, or... go Black Flag and find it on one of the sites. Dude, seriously, it's worth a playthrough. It is hands down worth a playthrough.
They also usually have the stores near me, Damok. I don't know about you, the more comfortable the Game Boy Advances is the original. And like they're charging SPs around you for like $100?
Yeah, like everything is at least $100 now.
For $100, you'll get a an original GBA that's been modified and backlit, with a actual AGS 101 brighter screen from an SP.
Well, can't you play Game Boy Advance games in a DS?
The earlier DS, yes. The earlier couple models of the DS, yes. Like the DS and the first DS Lite. After that, they took it out. You could also, if you have a GameCube, get one of the DS GameCube players. Or not DS, I'm sorry, the Game Boy Advance players for the GameCube.
I do have an old GameCube somewhere.
And it just loads, it clicks onto the bottom, attaches to the bottom. You have to make sure you get the disc with it, because there's a disc to start it off. Which is usually the part that's missing. But yeah, then you can play advanced games on your GameCube.
Wait a minute, how much are Game Boy Advances?
Depends. I mean, SP around me usually about $40, $34 for an original. About that.
Okay, yeah, that's.
I was talking about a really nice modded one.
Yeah, the ones I'm seeing on like eBay.
Yeah, don't hipsterify stuff. It just jacks it all up and takes a big hipstery shit all over it, full of coffee grains and fucking vape smells.
Yeah, it's getting pretty bad around here. We go to buy a couple CDs or something, and now everything's on vinyl, and it's brand new albums are all on vinyl, and you're like, no one listens to vinyl anymore, guys. Come on.
It's actually been making a big return.
It has, but Jesus Christ, like back when vinyl was big, like really big.
When it first started,
they made songs to play on vinyl because there was a specific sound that you got with it. You can't just take something and throw it on vinyl and be like, "Hey, here it is on vinyl." It doesn't work that way.
Also, you got to be careful because there's different qualities and speeds of vinyl as well. You want to make sure to be careful with which ones you get.
Yeah, I don't listen to vinyl. I listen to Tidal. I like FLAC lossless audio. I like my little shit stack and my several pairs of headphones, and I enjoy my music.
Well, I used to listen to a lot of vinyl because, of course, back in the day, my dad had a lot of records from when that's what was out, was vinyl. So I got to listen to a lot of old vinyl records, like the Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin. He had a lot of Frank Zappa, so I always got to listen to a lot of vinyl, and he took really good care of it. He had the little thing to like gently clean it and oil it up and keep it all in perfect shape. And I had a vinyl. I had a player for a while when I was younger. Vinyl. I had some, records.
I had a 45 player. That's all I had, man.
Chipmunk's Christmas.
Yeah, we had that. Like a boss. Actually, I did have that one too.
Jesus Christ. If you actually played that on the slower speed,
it sounds demonic. Yeah,
it does sound weird.
It's so bad. It's so bad, but it's so good. Like
I used to play with the speeds on it, and sometimes you could get some pretty sick sounding shit.
Oh God, you guys remember that movie, The Gate?
Yes.
No, wait. That wasn't the one that we went to go see on Christmas, was it?
No.
What was the name of that fucking movie? I've been trying to remember.
I think the movie
years.
Was it Ninth Gate, Cecil, that you're talking about?
No. It's called The Gate. It's about a couple of kids. They find a gate to hell in their backyard.
Okay,
I was referencing an old kind of horror movie where that's not a couple kids. I mean, but he winds up unlocking the gates to hell. But
no, so this is a movie where they find a gate to hell in their backyard, and they actually get these little. It was claymation, and these little things came out, and they ended up killing it with a fucking a toy rocket. Those rockets that you set underneath and you launch them, because it was the rocket of hope or whatever, and they launched it through its chest and they killed it.
Yeah, the one I was talking about, was the Ninth Gate, and that it has a
Johnny Depp in it, isn't it?
Johnny Depp is the main character. Yep, yeah. He was searching for this. He acquired an old satanic book. Yeah. Called The Nine Gates. Yeah, so that was actually pretty cool. I liked that movie. Sorry, that's what I thought you were referencing.
Well, the reason I went to The Gate is because in that movie they had the thing where they were playing a record backwards. And playing it backwards gave them this chant to close the gate. It was so bad. But it just reminded me, when we're talking about vinyl, it just reminded me of that movie, of just playing it backwards. Like, remember the old urban legends of playing it?
Yeah. I think it would have been better if they looped it through fucking Teddy Ruxpin, man.
No, fuck that noise. Or a Furby. Yeah, shit, that's a way to get me to shotgun a Furby. Well, shit. I mean, we've been rambling on here. We actually have questions. We have a lot of questions, by the way. So we got to.
Well, let's get to questions because we rambled a whole hour.
We got to crank through these things right here. So
I sent us down a road of rambling.
So Zyra Blood comes out with the first one. How do you feel about Google's Strata project? That's the first part of the question. Well, let's answer that. How do we feel about the Google Strata project, or how do you say it?
I could care less. I'm like, eh.
I'm pretty excited about it. It is definitely going to be the way of the future. I don't know if it's there just yet, but of course this is going to be an alpha test of it. This is not a full production thing that they're trying.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think this is going to be the way of the future, man. Once they figure out the input lag on it. But with Google Fiber and shit like that, with the higher speeds that we're getting, I think that lag is eventually just going to disappear.
Yeah, we're still several years away from it. But for them to attempt it right now and try and get it off the ground in an alpha stage is pretty interesting to see. Run it all off a server, play all your games from a server, and not have to build a high-end PC. Google's been going that way for a long time, especially with their Chromebooks. Run everything off the server. Everything is software as a service, infrastructure as a service, all of it.
But what I'm worried about, though, the why I'm kind of about it, is that a lot of people don't have the speed you'll need for that. There's a lot of rural area, people left behind. It's going to take a while for that to get off, and I don't want them to get kind of frustrated and impatient and basically ditch it like they did Google+. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is, I really think that this is the way things are going. In fact,
Wait, can I?
I would be
but I'm hoping they're not going to be
surprised
too
if
early.
Steam doesn't start going this way.
But that's the point. Like, I do agree. I think that most forms of entertainment are going to become like the Netflix kind of route, right? Where like you have one location where everything is, you pay like some kind of a subscription fee, and then you just basically get to play whatever game you want, But I don't know if Google's going to be the one to do it right, or if they'll have the support, like the third-party support that they'll need to really kind of take over.
The other thing I'm worried about is currently right now it's like, if you've got, like, say, a game, like a new developer that's up and coming, and they hit it out of the park, and they become really successful, and you get a lot of good games, but with everybody having, like, a subscription services, I mean, how much is really going to be left for, like, developers being able to make, like, new games versus just churn out some basic bullshit?
See, now that's where I think the streaming thing is really going to help them, because if you think about it from a constant revenue model, gaming companies are always looking for ways to make constant revenue.
Yeah.
Social games like Destiny, Anthem, Division, they've got Overwatch. They've all got loot boxes. They've all got some sort of cosmetics that you can buy. They've all got ways of making constant revenue. I mean, look
Which
at
I
mobile
understand.
games right now. But look at mobile games, just as
Yeah.
hands down. Like, mobile games are all about constant revenue. So if you think about it from that avenue, you've got a gaming service like, so let's take Netflix. Netflix pays for those movies to be on their service. They pay whomever, and those royalties go to those publishers or whomever, and then those royalties then filter down to whomever made the movie, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
But my question is, because, I mean, I'm probably just not fully understanding, the background of this, is, you pay, like, say, like a service like, like Netflix, you just pay like a straight monthly fee, everybody does. How do they divide up the revenue? Like, who deserves it more? Which publishers? You know what I mean? Which developers, I mean?
Netflix, how much did they pay to have, like, Disney movies and shit like that just stream for a bit of time on their servers?
Right. But
yeah, that's what I was curious is, once everything goes to that.
Right. So it's not like it's not going to be communism all of a sudden where, like, everybody, even like the worst developers out there, get the same cut. No, whatever attracts the most business is definitely going to get the larger cut of the pie.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is Netflix isn't shortchanging anybody anytime soon.
No.
Yeah.
They've been doling out tens of millions to people.
I think that it's a little interesting the way you guys are coming at it, because I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. I believe that you're going to pay a monthly fee to access a quote-unquote high-end computer, and on that you would load Steam, you would load fuck Epic Game Store, you would load your Origin, and then you would have to purchase your games that way, and the service they would be providing is an absolute high-end gaming experience to you. Max out your frames, max out everything, and have a good time with it. And
But you buy your own games.
you still buy your own games. So developers are still going to get their money, and it's still going to be a fantastic thing. Google will probably introduce some type of their own store with a discount system in it. But
So kind of like Steam, you still, you can access it. It's all like a centralized place. You buy your own games, but then you just have common hardware.
right.
Pretty much gaming from the cloud. Okay.
Then
Right.
you could just grab what are those super cheap Chromebooks or whatever that only cost you $150, and you're like, okay, I use this, I log into my Google account, that's my high-end gaming PC, which is just a server running a shit ton of awesome hardware, and I pay $10 a month for it.
Oh, that totally makes sense on the second part of the question where it says, and will this make obsolete the PC tuning race to keep up with building and rebuilding computers to play the latest? I guess probably
Potentially,
should read
yes.
That part, yeah. I think it could, yeah. Yeah, from that angle.
From that angle, yeah.
All right, next question. Besides the fact that you may have microtransactions, what's your top free PC game? Okay. Besides the fact that they may have microtransactions, what's your top free PC game?
Apex?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
I mean, I don't play a lot of free mobile games or a lot of free games, so pretty much Apex is the one that I've been playing. That's free.
Yeah, I mean, if we break down to PC games, I can't really think of too many free games. Like, I mean, I absolutely loathe Fortnite. You know what? CS:GO. I really, really enjoy Counter-Strike Global Offense.
That's not a free game. You have to
Yeah, it
buy
is.
it. Nope, you gotta buy it.
It's free for me. Like, it was, like, when I went to the website, it was free.
No, Global Offensive is not free. You still have to pay for it. It's not expensive, but you still have to pay for Global Offensive.
Because it came out free to play for me.
Counter-Strike Source was free to play. Now, Team Fortress 2 is free to play.
I still think you guys rag on Fortnite too much. I mean, it's drawing away the little asshole, kids away from the rest of our games. Appreciate the Fortnite.
Dude, no. Counter-Strike Global Offensive is free to play.
Well, that's some bullshit, because I had to pay for it.
Okay, here, hold on. I'm going to post this. You tell me what it says.
No, I just...
Damok got screwed.
I just looked in Steam and checked it out, and you're right, it says free to play, but I'm pretty sure that was the game I had to pay for. It was like $7. It wasn't expensive.
Go tell him I'm just being an asshole middleman. Hey, I got some Pokemon Go, $7, man.
Oh, God. Anybody else got any free games? Free PC games, I should say.
Solitaire. Minesweeper.
I love it. Now, see, they're not free, though. You're paying for that with
No,
your
I know.
life to Microsoft. All right, next question. Oh, Drice. Okay, according to MXDWN.com, this is how the top 10 sales fall for 20 so far. Kingdom Hearts 3, Resident Evil 2, New Super Mario Bros., Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Switch, Red Redemption 2, Ace Combat 7, NBA 2K19. How would you order these from what you've tried or hate, motherfucker?
Wait,
yeah,
what?
Just go over to ask your questions. It's much easier to read that than read it again. Honestly, I've only played one game out of that list. That's Resident Evil. Every other game on that list, I have Kingdom Hearts 3. I haven't played it yet, though.
Wait, which question did you just ask?
How would you order these from what you've tried and liked or hated? It's a
So-
long one about according to it's a list of games, right?
I haven't played
Okay,
a
good. Top 10
single
sales.
game on that list. Not one.
I played Resident Evil 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I also played.
I've played a bunch of these.
I've not played any of the other ones, though.
Which ones have you played, Dave?
I started Kingdom Hearts 3. So far, I like it.
Okay.
I haven't really gotten too far. Resident Evil 2, I watched you play. I haven't actually bought it and played it. But I've got the new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe Switch, which is just a remake of the one from the Wii U.
Okay.
But I put it on there for the kids so I could play it with the kids. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I have it on the Switch, and I absolutely love it.
Okay.
I have the kids playing it with me. Red Dead Redemption 2 is pretty awesome. I like that. And I have not done Ace Combat 7, which, cool, that playing game ended up on there, and I've not played NBA 2K19.
All right. Yeah, unfortunately, I've only played one, Resident Evil 2, and that game, like, they nailed it. They absolutely nailed that remake.
From what I watched you play, I'd probably put that at number 1.
The only reason I put that at number 1 is because that's the one I've played. I've heard great things about Red Dead Redemption 2.
It's fantastic.
And everything I've watched about it, it's amazing. So, I mean, even, like, just going from what I played, like, playing Red Redemption 1, watching people play Red Dead Redemption 2, like, I would almost put that higher only because of what I know of Red Dead Redemption 1, and it was just amazing. Like, the fucking four horses of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like that was seriously... That was the best addition in a game at the time, hands down. Like, going and finding those fucking four horses.
Yeah, it was fun. I like that a lot. And the final horse you get is so goddamn fast.
Oh, yeah.
So I would say that's my one gripe for those games, actually, is that, like, your means of travel is so very limited in speed. Not that you shouldn't have the ability to be able to explore the whole map in, like, 10 minutes or anything, but...
I mean, but what else did they have back then? I mean, wagon was slower.
Yeah, but, like, I don't literally want to die of dysentery while I'm playing a game in which my character might get it. Like, I'm cool with the whole, like, it's realistic kind of thing, but some things, it's like, there's a reason we've evolved, okay? Fuck a covered wagon, right?
Yeah, there's a fast forward button on purpose.
That's ironically how I always seem to die in Oregon Trail, as I never survived the dysentery.
What do you got, Damok?
Remember, kids, wash your hands when you poop.
You were about to say something.
So again, I haven't played any of the games, but if I had to put them in an order that I would want to play them,
that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, Ace Combat 7, by far. I've loved the Ace Combat series.
Oh, yeah, hands down.
After that would be Resident Evil 2, because I've seen that's the remake one. Mm-hmm. I want to play that really bad. I haven't had a chance. Red Dead would be number 3 for me. I didn't play the first one. I've seen some of the second one. I've seen the horse balls grow and shrink and all that, because it's, YouTube. Kingdom Hearts 3, then Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, and I don't know what the U Deluxe is, so I'll put that right under that. Then NBA 2K19, because, hey, a basketball game can be fun from time to time, and just strike Call of Duty off the list. I don't give a fuck.
Touche, okay. Next question. Have you played Gary's Mod? What are your thoughts? Is it worth trying?
Nope. I haven't done it.
I don't know what that is.
It's fun. But
yes, it's
not
silly
worth the money.
fun. It's worth a playthrough, or it's worth a play for about 15 minutes and then be done with it.
Yeah, it's definitely not worth the money that they're asking for it.
No.
When it used to be free, it was fantastic, and you could just screw around with it. It was a lot of fun to make up your own shit. Now they're asking money, but they did expand upon what you can do with it. I don't own the new one, but I've seen all the videos where they do the crazy shit with it and make their own little games out of it. It's interesting if you are somebody that likes a complete and utter sandbox experience, or trying to build your own experience from a sandbox.
All right. Well, moving on from there.
Oh,
Gear
that's
Geek.
Kind of cool, though. I just looked up what it was. That sounds cool.
Oh, it's totally fun, man. Gear Geek time. What is a pre-1980s car you'd like to have and rebuild? Also, would you do a restore or would you do a rest? Would you rest?
Probably restoration and add in some modded
restoration
stuff.
mod. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is kind of up my wagon, so I guess I'll go first. A pre-1980s car, I would go a Hemi Cuda, preferably a 71. I would do a restore of that straight from stock because, and then of course I would have like 15 to 30 throwout bearings on standby because those things always went. Yeah, I would have one of those. I don't know if I would mod it so much. I might do some minor modifications and stuff like that, supercharger maybe, but I wouldn't go like full on tuner mod like people do nowadays. I would keep it fairly simple. What about you, D? You got one?
I'd like to do a 69 Mustang and just restore to factory, just have a really nice classic car.
Oh, yeah. That's hot. That's definitely hot. Well, you, Damok?
If I had a restored pre-1980s car, I would sell it and buy the newest Tesla that would smoke all of your asses, hands down, no questions asked, and while I'll be sleeping in the front seat, I'd be good to go.
Yeah, you know what? You would smoke all of our asses, but you wouldn't look nearly as cool in the process.
I don't have to look cool or awesome or badass. I could be asleep in my Tesla and smoke you.
Would you take it to space, though?
Well, yeah, dude, they put the radiation plating on it. I'm not a fucking idiot.
Elon Musk sent one to space like a boss.
What about you, Article?
Wait, it's pre-1980s, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Damok just said he would sell
Damok
the pre-1980s car and then buy a Tesla.
He didn't really answer the question. He cheesed it.
Well, I'm just going to get a DeLorean then. And then I'll be able to travel to whatever fucking time I want.
Yeah, but was a DeLorean pre-1980s? I thought a DeLorean came out in 82.
I don't know.
I thought it was late 70s.
I think, well, it's
Look
definitely
that shit
80s. I know that. But I think that there were 70, back in 70s. Yeah, 1979.
Yeah, I cheese the question because I don't know shit about cars, man. I like having newer stuff when it comes to cars.
It was released in 1979? I thought it was like
75. 1975.
75, really?
Wow.
Wait, or am I reading that wrong? Hold on a second. Let me look at the DeLorean. Sorry, that was the company. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the DeLorean that we're thinking of, like the Back to the Future car, was
75 was when the guy started a company. Yeah, they released him in through 1981 and 1983.
Yeah,
And then they went bankrupt.
Yeah, then they just went.
Did they go bankrupt, though? Or did they travel through time? Think about
it. Yeah, first they traveled forward. They found out we fucked the planet. And they went way back and said, fuck this shit.
Yeah, they
Get some
did.
clean air, goddammit.
They went back to the Wild West. We're like, we're going with Doc Brown on this one. We're making a
Heck
train.
yeah.
Oh, man, what a terrible idea. Oh, man. They could have screamed into, like, a school full of children when they went forward in time, Like, with a fucking...
They would have done it in a DeLorean, hell yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, stupid. It doesn't have the momentum of a fucking train.
But when they went forward, when they put the flying things on the train and the DeLorean, that made so much more sense to me. Like, if you're going to go forward or backwards in time, you want to be above the ground. You want to be in the air,
right,
because you don't know what the hell is going to be at ground level when you teleport there.
Yeah, ocean, perhaps.
You're about to say ocean at this point.
Ocean, a mountain, you friggin', you go back in time far enough, you're on Pangea, and you're like, holy shit, there's like a mountain here.
See, that's always been like, I think that's when most people would go back, honestly. If they really could travel through time, I think a lot of people would want to go check out the dinosaurs. I would.
Fuck yeah. I mean, I'd get promptly eaten, but I'd still do it.
No, I'd go back to the time. I'd keep a mask so I can breathe, but I'd go all the way back to right before you had like the first microorganisms. I'd take a dump in the water, and I would be like the god of all creatures from that on.
I thought you were going to say you're going to rub one out in there.
Well, that too. Either way.
All right, next question. We got to keep going, man. We got so many. All right, who was your first?
We got to go back to that eventually.
We'll make a whole show about that. Who was the first video game crush?
What?
Ooh, who was your first video game crush?
Like Lara
Tifa.
Croft or whatever.
Yeah, like video game character that you had a crush on.
Tifa for me from Final Fantasy VII.
I don't know.
Plenty bit.
It was Lara Croft for me. I got that PC gamer or not PC gamer shit. That
Nude
went around
Raider?
then. Yeah, not the Nude Raider, but the whatever the magazine was, and it had that 3-page fold out because it was like, look at these stunning graphics, and it was like that thing where it was Lara Croft in her nightie, and it was like, oh, I gotta pin this on my wall.
Plenty bit.
God, that's a good question, because my knee-jerk reaction would be Samus, but I'm like, no, because
that is true. Weird. That is true, because the Super Metroid, if you beat that game in under 3 hours, you see her at the very end in her bikini.
Yeah, and I did that multiple times, but I'm thinking back to Nintendo era. She was just in like this leotard, and honestly, back in the Nintendo era, And even the Super Nintendo era, even seeing her in her bikini, it wasn't like it was like, oh, cool, that's cute. It wasn't like a sexual thing for me in any way, shape, or form.
I still say cinema scene Tifa. Jiggly boobies when the airship was like getting rough.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the first real sexualized. That's a tough one. I think I got to cop out on that. I really don't know.
Yeah, I
like
have no
my
idea.
again, like my knee-jerk reaction is Samus, but there's no sexual like now out of some of the art that's come out of her in like Zero Suit and shit like that. Like, oh yeah, that's pretty hot, but definitely wasn't my first. That's a tough one. I might have to come back to that on a later show and think about that one.
Homework for Cecil.
All right. Next question. What about you? Oh yeah, you already mentioned it, Dave. Said Laura Croft. How hyper realistic graphics are, do you believe video games are desensitizing children to violence and gore?
Not at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was already desensitized before there was hyper realistic graphics. To be perfectly honest.
No.
Yeah.
It's more violent movies and TV shows that are going well above and beyond that are desensitizing people.
I also
if
disagree.
Anything.
I think it's the news in real life. Let's be real.
If anything, it would be movies.
If you look at crime as trends, it's continuing downward. Okay, this even despite the fact that shows like Game of Thrones wildly popular and incredibly gory. Video games, all-time high sales, like we just saw. Call of Duty was one of the, like these are violent video games, and yet crime isn't ticking upwards to follow those trends. So,
no, you're right.
There's no cause and effect there, is all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that, violent games are great and they might not cause any problems or whatever. I personally like them because I know that I can decipher between what is real and what is a video game. That's just the way it is. Like, I think that people kind of they're towing a dangerous line here because they're basically trying to give the excuse out to people who do become violent that they can't, right? That they can't tell the difference between what's real and what's not. And that I think is fucked up because that gives them like an out almost. And that's the kind of explanation that I really dislike when I hear it. But it's like
tell the truth. You hurt them on purpose.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's my bias. If I'm presented with evidence that shows me strongly otherwise, then I'll consider that explanation. But so far, I haven't seen it.
If anything, what the evidence has, what little bit of study that has been done, and what little bit of like children's psychologists, the only thing that they found is, if anything, it helps become an outlet to it. If somebody's prone to, say, a kid is prone to violence, it can actually delay the final, violent reaction because they're actually kind of getting some of it off their chest, so to speak.
Well, yeah, and the thing that a lot of things, like people that say, like, well, this kid got really, really mad about this game or whatever. It's a lot of times people get really mad when they feel they've been cheated, and in games that happens a lot. So,
but if you lose at a game and you kill somebody because of it, it's not the game. You're fucked up to want to kill somebody over a stupid game. Yeah. You're already torqued in the head. Mommy and Daddy dropped you as baby too many times.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say that I don't know that it's. I mean, desensitizing is kind of a broad term. Like, is it desensitizing? So yeah, I mean, I think any exposure to violence in general will desensitize you. It's kind of like, it's kind of like when you're working out. Like, if you don't work out ever and then you go and work out, it hurts like hell. But if you keep working out, it doesn't hurt. Kind of like the same thing. Like, if you're not exposed to violence, then yeah, you're sensitive to violence. But if you're around it, it doesn't bother you nearly as much.
Well, that's the thing is, I don't think any of those people are actually around violence day to day. Like, very few of them would be, just by the data.
Well, like here's a personal, for instance. So, like, around guns. Like, when I was a kid, and I'd go over a friend's house and they had a gun, and we'd go out back and we'd do target practice or whatever. When a gun would go off, the loud noise would startle me.
Yeah. Because
it was loud and it was a gun and it startled me.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically, the more and more I've played video games now, and I haven't used firearms in a long, long time, and my brother and my father decided, hey, we've got pistols now, we're going to go fire them off at the firing range. And
Nice.
it was actually something that I noticed that when we went there and I put my earplugs in and, as I'm putting my earplugs in, my brother squeezes off a few rounds and I didn't jump. I didn't like freak out. I didn't get startled from it. And I think that actually, I want to say that that's attributed to playing video games where I've got loud guns going off all the time. And while they're not necessarily as realistic as, 9mm going off 3 feet from you, I think that it desensitized me from that in that fact so that I didn't react so aggressively, or not aggressively, so...
Overreact.
So exponentially to it, of like, oh my god, a gun just went off.
Right, like it was like a reflex before, now it isn't.
Yeah, it was oh man, a gun went off. Now I'm just like, oh, a gun went off.
That could just be due to age, man. Because the brain does change over time.
Yeah, and that could be it, but I mean, I've attributed to it.
We can recondition him to jump.
Yeah, you can. You just
Yeah.
continue to shoot me every time a gun goes off.
Oh, I was about to say, just one good shot in the knee and
Yeah.
this shit's gonna... He's gonna be startled next time.
Pavlov's dog.
Pavlov Cecil.
All right, since we're talking about that part, quick story time with Damok. Video games and movies and TV shows, ultraviolet shit. I've been watching it since I was a little kid. My dad never had any restrictions on it. I've watched horrible, horrible things. I've played terrible, terrible video games. I joined the army, deployed twice. My second deployment, I saw some true nasty shit.
And that does not... The movies do not compare to real
Nope.
up close and personal.
Not
I'm
at
sorry,
all.
but no matter how realistic they've made it, that shit ain't nowhere near
You're
when you
not
see something up
desensitized.
close.
You are not desensitized at all whatsoever until you see it up close. And now I have to laugh about it because the only way to deal with it is to laugh about it and make horrible jokes about it. But yeah,
Right.
all
It's a
the
coping
movies-
mechanism we all end up, getting, so you don't lose your sanity.
Yep. Yeah. So
no.
video games didn't do it for me. Movies didn't do it for it. But yeah, seeing it up close and personal in real life, nothing desensitized me until I actually saw it.
Yeah, I gotta say, for the gore level, I would have to completely agree with that because there's been some screwed up things I've seen, and no movie or video game could have prepared me for seeing a half-burnt body sticking out of the back end of a truck.
Reality is
Yeah, that sucks. And it smells terrible.
reality is stranger than fiction.
It kind of smelled like beef tips, to be perfectly honest.
Not to me. I did not like the smell of burnt human flesh. It actually does stink, I think.
Oh, no, it kind of makes me hungry.
All right, note to self. Cecil's a cannibal.
All right, moving on. Next question. If you get paid $10,000 per pound, you get one punch, and you have to knock the animal unconscious or dead. What's the biggest animal you would choose?
Human being.
What, like a 400-pound human?
What did they say? How much per pound?
$10,000 per
$10,000.
pound.
Yeah, human being. There's more than enough money to knock somebody unconscious. Come on.
One punch, though? You can guarantee that you're going to knock them cold on one punch?
Yeah,
Yes, if you know where to hit.
definitely. I've done it many times.
All right. I was going to say anything less than a kangaroo.
I wouldn't fuck with a kangaroo. I wouldn't even fuck with a
fuck
small
no.
kangaroo, man.
No, that's what I'm saying. Anything less than a kangaroo. I would not fuck with a kangaroo. Kangaroo is like, whoa, nope, that's the limit there. Don't fuck with a kangaroo. Anything less than
That's
that.
what I'm saying. I wouldn't fuck with a joey. Like those.
No, they'll fuck you up, man. Those claws that they got, man, those claws, like, I don't care what the hell people say, like, oh, look at it, it's buff, it's going to punch you, it's going to knock you out. No, those fucking claws, they're going to gore you to death.
Yeah.
What about you, Damok? What do you got?
Well, I was just going to go with an obese teenager and try and take as much money as I could because I could knock a teenager out.
All right, human it is. All right, next question.
What?
Can an ambidextrous person make an offhand remark?
What? I don't get to answer that
No,
other
you don't.
question?
You don't. I'm fucking going on. You went with human.
But I wasn't going to go with a human.
All right, what do you got? Jesus Christ, what do you got?
Fucking penguin.
That's
That
rude.
bitch ain't hit me back.
You know, I'll fight you for that. I will protect that penguin because I fucking like penguins, okay?
Dude, have you seen the fucking inside of penguins' face?
Yeah, their mouth.
Those
Fucking
things are
scary, dude.
That is
Terrifying.
the making of nightmares right there, man.
Yeah.
I'll knock him out, but I ain't letting him get near me with that
At
face.
least we know that's where the John Carpenters The Thing resides now.
Yeah, if I woke up and I saw that thing like bearing down on me, that would be it. I would just make peace with my maker and know that I am done.
God damn it, I just Googled it. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
I was going to warn you not to do that, Damok. It's pretty fucked up.
The only way to stop that is with fire, just like John Carpenter's The Thing.
Exactly. Fire or a bazooka.
Yeah. Why do you think BP spills so much oil there?
Maybe I should retract my statement. Maybe I won't punch a penguin.
Yeah, they saw that fucking picture and they're like, we've got to eliminate them from the planet.
What about a really well-trained elephant?
Fake it?
Yeah. Like, teach it, like, look, man, I'm going to hit you, and you're just supposed to fall over.
But you get some shit ton of peanuts,
but you are going to have more fucking wine than you can imagine.
You Dumbo.
Man, that's some Siegfried and Roy shit right there, man. Come on. All right, back to Damok's question. Can an ambidextrous person make an offhand remark?
No, but I can make an off-color one.
Yeah, it would be called an off-color remark at that point in time. All right, blowing right past that one. Why do they call him Donkey Kong if he's not a donkey?
Did you see what he did to the donkey? You don't want to know.
Yeah, this is something I've always actually kind of wondered myself. Like, what? He's neither a donkey nor is he a Kong. You know, like he's a gorilla / monkey that throws barrels. I don't know why.
Emperor Google?
Miyamoto.
Yeah, we just associate it.
Yeah, used donkey to convey stubborn in English. The name Donkey Kong was intended to convey stubborn ape.
Oh yeah, stubbornness. Yeah, like right there.
Yeah, that
And it is, and English is like a second or third language, so I can see they're trying to translate.
was that a bad translation or whatever.
Like all your ships belongs to us or something like that.
Yeah,
But worse, yeah.
There we go, stubbornness. Donkeys are stubborn.
Yep.
All right, last question of the night. Why is it a penny for your thoughts, but you put your 2 cents in?
Penny for your thoughts.
because you just got a penny for your thoughts.
I'm going to say inflation.
No, so if your thoughts are worth a penny, right, and somebody is saying a penny for your thoughts, they're giving you a penny, and that's why you put your 2 cents in, because now you have 2 cents.
That's
It's an equal trade.
way of looking at it. Yeah, okay, all right.
But to say, I ain't got no sense.
Well, some piggy banks are broken.
This one is. It's got a hole in the bottom. You wouldn't
Oh,
believe.
Jesus.
I always thought it was somebody says, hey, a penny for your thoughts, and they only want half of your fucking thought, and you always just go overboard and tell them way more than they really wanted to hear. So you give them 2 cents instead of a penny.
Let me tell you this, though. A penny for your thoughts, they do not want you to flick a penny hard at them. They get pissed.
Well,
See,
in reality, it's supposed to be a humble expression, right? You're just saying, like, oh, this. What you're essentially saying is, like, this probably isn't worth much, but here are my thoughts, right?
I don't know if I'm saying a penny for your thoughts. I'm saying you're a dumbass motherfucker. Penny for thoughts.
So here's something mildly funny about my ignorance as a child, and actually into my teens, ironically.
And into adulthood for me.
Well, when they were saying, I put your 2 cents in, I always thought they weren't saying cents as in
Right.
2 coins. I thought they were saying sense as in
Spidey
like
sense.
like my senses, like sight, sound. So when you were saying I was giving my 2 cents, I was always interpreting that as they were giving their observations from multiple angles. Like I was giving you my sight and sound, I was giving you my taste and touch, that type of description. So for the longest time, that's how I always.
You have to pick 2.
Well, no,
I give you my taint. I mean taste.
Like, yeah, like what if you pick taste and smell?
Well, I always interpreted that as in I was giving you more because I was giving you, instead of just giving you what I saw, I gave you what I saw and heard.
Which is more well thought out.
Yeah, or I wasn't giving you what I smelled or what I tasted. I was giving you what I smelled and tasted.
It sounds like something.
Like I was
like only
incorporating it that way.
Sounds like something only Helen Keller could say and be accurate.
But like so growing up until about my mid-teens, I thought that that's what it was saying. Just like for instance, I thought for all intents and purposes.
Oh yeah.
I always thought that was intense, like banging intense, like camping outdoors, intense, for all intents and purposes. I always thought that was what it was.
For all you homeless out there.
Until all of a sudden I actually read a book that had it written down, and I went, oh, that's what that is? Whoops. So that was just, a miscommunication on my part. But that's what I always thought, that put your 2 cents in. I always thought it was that.
Next blockbuster movie. It is Cecil as Amelia Bedelia.
Yeah, that's some Amelia Bedelia shit right there.
Yeah, lame, I know, but that's just where I always thought it came. So the penny for your thoughts thing and the put 2 cents in, they never went together in my mind because they were 2 separate things completely.
For me now, I cannot think of a penny for your thoughts without seeing in my head Yoda doing that Seagulls, a bad lip reading. Penny for your thoughts.
Stop it now.
I said Seagulls.
I don't know what that is, but I gotta see it.
Oh,
We're
we're Googling that for you, and you're going to have it for another show. On
YouTube.
that note, D, where can people find you at?
People can find me at my website, microbrewgamers with a Z instead of an S.com. You can also find me on microbrewgamers, my YouTube channel. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. And of course, I've got my own Discord, and I'm usually on the G.N.A podcast Discord, along with Yeah Dude Gamer, Slow Speed Run, Josh of All Trades. Just look at Microbrew Gamers with a Z and 7S. You'll pretty much find me wherever I am.
Rock on. What about you, Article? Where can people find you at?
Right here at This Is Article, Instagram at I Got Cronies, and Xbox Live at Outstanding CF2.
Nice. What about you, Damok? Where can people find you at?
I'm running a new website. It's called Damok.net. Go there, support my girls if you're in Russia.
Do not go there.
No, you'll find me trolling the Discord, as always.
Goddamn, don't go there, and please don't click on the rubber band one. Jesus Christ. I'm Cecil Xavier, your host.
Ready for your thoughts?
You can find me on Cecil vs. Games on Twitter, Cecil Xavier everywhere else, Facebook, Ustream, PlayStation, Xbox, Discord, everywhere, fucking every. So we hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or your favorite podcast application. Reviews help people find the show. So if you enjoy listening to us, let other people know. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play Music, Podcast Addict, Stitcher, Player FM, Spreaker, MyTuner, Your Listen, and Spotify. Which actually I've started listening to us on Spotify, ironically, because I have Spotify Premium. So I listen. If we're not somewhere, let us know. We'll upload there. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook by searching at G.N.A Podcast, all one word. You can join our Discord chat. Just see the pinned tweet. We do a game show night. In fact, if you're listening to this show, we just had a game show night via Saturday, where we do Jackbox games and give away free Steam codes to anybody who wins. Ironically, we're giving away free Steam codes to pretty much anybody who plays right now because we have so many frigging Steam codes, they're coming out of our ear. And those Steam codes are actually presented by Humble. Humble Bundle is a game-sharing service or a game purchasing service, just like any place else you can think of, but it's got a little bit of a twist. When you buy a game or a bundle from Humble Bundle, they actually donate to charity. So they get a little slider on there, and you can decide how much you want to give to charity, how much you want to give to the developers, or to Humble Bundle. If you put the !partner equals G.N.A podcast all the way at the end, that'll actually tell them that we sent you. When you get those sliders, you'll also have a slider for G.N.A podcast. We ask that you take that slider and put it all the way down to 0. We don't want your money. We just want them to know that we sent you their little thing, so we can say, hey, this is how much we made for charity. But they've got other things than just like the bundles. You can also buy, if you're going to buy a game, go check out Humble Bundle because they may have the game there and you can support charities while you're doing it. And just put that ~partner equals G.N.A podcast at the end and I am looking to see how much we sold and then actually stall right. Yeah, there's that. And it's going to load here in just a second. Hey, so far, the month of March, we made $36.82 for charity, which, hey, pretty cool. Do you like anime? Because we do. Every Sunday at 19:30 Eastern Standard Time, we do an anime night hosted by Zyberblood. We do it on Rabbit, rabb.it/G.N.A podcast. Our current anime is Hajime no Ippo, and I'm not sure if we're going to stick with this one or we're going to switch it up. We've been watching this one for a while. Blue is supposed to come back, but I don't know. We might do it again this Sunday just to knock it out and get some more done when he comes back. But we are on episode, I think, 53. Jesus Christ, we're on episode 53. There's only like 75 episodes in this. I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll probably talk on Anime Night and finish up to episode 75 or switch it up. Either way, I don't know. I enjoy, yeah, there's that. We want to thank Morgan BS Photography for our new logo and artwork. Check him out at morganbs.com. He couldn't be with us tonight because, well, he's a bitch. Email us at G.N.A podcast at your G.N.A and your G.N.A.1 with questions, comments, death threats. We don't care. We'd love to hear from you. Last but not least, check us out at our website at
www.buyagameboyadvance in Final Fantasy VI to get the best experience, according to everybody at G.N.A.com or GNApodcast.com.
Oh, I love you, man. I love you. Guys, thank you for joining me on the show. Have a great night.
Have a good night, dude.